We are at Miami International Airport, and in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you how to do a convention sponsored. So I'm gonna be bringing you guys with us on this adventure. We're gonna be doing the Milano convention in Italy. I'm gonna be going through everything from navigating the airport, landing, checking in, tips and tricks to manage all this, obviously the convention, day 1, 2, and 3, and getting home safely. I'll also be going over navigating and maintaining the relationship with a sponsored company. Being a sponsored artist and doing a convention, I'm gonna be doing this convention with Allegory, and I'm gonna give you guys full transparency on how the relationship works, the benefits I receive, and things that you should ask for when doing so.
You know, we're here at MIA Airport. We're about to go into the gate, some pro travel tips. Make sure that your sponsors are here.
How can you do conventions with companies and what does it look like?
Yeah.
You know?
So I feel like to do conventions is just like all about communication. I mean, there's certain shows that I'll email the artists, there's certain shows like they'll hit us up about. It just kind of depends on the show, the area. Like if you do a show one year with somebody and it's good, you want to just continue doing it with them the next year. So it doesn't make shit confusing.
Like relationships are important.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can be the best artist ever if you suck and you're hard to work with.
Yeah.
You might not get
if you're
invited.
asking for barrier film, no.
But I think it's communication. You and I, even before the trip, like we're meeting up, we're planning the trip, hotels to merch that we're doing together, to the booth, what's the plan, what do we want to do? And it kind of helps you get ahead of it a little better. Yeah. So you're not just landing and it's like, what the fuck do we do?
I got people hitting me up today like, what's this, what's that? I'm like, bro, the show's in like 2 days.
Right,
you know?
like it's time.
But we try to make sure like everything gets done on time.
Because we have a shit ton of artists in the booth this time.
24 artists.
Is this the biggest one?
Yes, the biggest one that I've ever done.
Like as far as amount of artists?
Yeah.
Bro, I can't even imagine, bro. You're probably getting so many texts like, what's my hotel? What's this? What's that? What
WhatsApp,
booth?
Instagram. We're trying our best. We're trying to make sure everything falls in line. We got a lot of cool stuff planned.
Yeah. So we'll get on this flight. You know, we'll bring you guys through the whole time. You know, I'll talk about some of the benefits. But you get to go represent a brand. A lot of times, like, your booth's way cooler. You're with other artists from that brand.
Yeah.
I feel like you're taken a little bit more serious because you're someone working with the company. The sponsorship companies will pay for stuff. I know that's a big question. Like, how does it benefit? You know, sometimes they do flights, sometimes they do booth, sometimes they do hotel. It really depends on the relationship you have. And I think as an artist, it's really important to remember to be grateful for those things and to find a way that the company benefits, you know, from having you. Like, oh, that's nice that, like, you know, you're gonna cover my travel or my booth, but I'm always trying to remember, like, how can I show my value to the company? It could be handing out ink, it could be telling people about the brand, it could be going there and just being professional, working with clients and having good manners, and like, you're representing the brand.
Yeah.
Cool, let's get on the plane.
All right, dudes, how man?
Made it to Italy. It is.
Back home it's
9:24 in the morning.
and back home it's 3:30 in the morning.
Nice.
Remember when I told you guys it'd be really easy to wake up early bird?
Yeah.
I lied. It's however gonna be very difficult because we're gonna be.
All right, so we got checked into the hotel, got our bags, shower, clean, whole deal. Met up with all the boys. We're staying at some different hotels. Yours is over here, it's all a block away. First things first, got to get some food and create a plan for this weekend. So right now we are enjoying a coffee at a cafe. My favorite pastime anywhere in Europe. When we got to the hotel, we figured out our setup time for the convention, which is going to be on Thursday. We tracked all our packages because remember, I ordered my tattoo bed, my tattoo chair, my light, my armrest from Amazon, ordered to the hotel. So tracked all those packages. Now is a great time to be checking in with clients, letting them know that you've arrived and making sure that they will arrive or that they're ready to get tattooed on the day that they're booked. This is very much a preparation day. So it's Wednesday, you know, Thursday we have our setup day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is convention. For me, Monday is go home. This would be a great time for me to do my drawings. Another great place to do the drawings is on the plane if you're comfortable doing that. So we've checked in with all of our clients. We got our drawings ready. I like to just get everything done ahead of time because the conventions can be stressful enough. So coming in prepared for me is the best way to lower stress. One thing I want to talk about is there are so many benefits to doing conventions. They are a lot of work. They can be very stressful. They require a lot of planning, but I think the benefit exceeds all those stressors. Maybe you do conventions all the time. Maybe you're about to do your first. I'd really like you to take a second to think about what your goals might be for the convention. And maybe the answer is I don't know. When I started doing the conventions a lot, I noticed there was a lot of things I liked about it and a lot of things I didn't like about it. I loved seeing friends. I loved being able to travel to new places. I like the ability to tattoo people in other places and experience the culture, not only of the place, but the tattoo culture in the region. Things I didn't like is I didn't like all the planning, all the stress of like jumping on planes and booking hotels and planning these trips to places I'd never been, and what if I get it wrong? I didn't like how expensive it was. So one of my goals in the beginning was to create a convention experience that had all the things I liked and none of the things I didn't like. That was, I think, my first big goal. And I feel like I was able to accomplish this through sponsorship, through getting sponsored by a company, having them pay to do all these things, having them plan all the things, to where the point now is they just kind of give me a list of places they're going that year. We agree to the ones that I'm gonna go to. They plan it all out for me. And it's kind of the ideal convention experience. And I only say that to let everyone know that it's possible. And maybe your ideal convention experience looks different. Maybe you like doing the planning, or you don't mind this or that. It could be different than mine. But I'd like you to take time to think about what your ideal experience is in a convention. And we can work on getting those with, baby steps each convention, trying to work towards that goal. So for me in the beginning, I realized that this was possible through sponsorship. So there's a bunch of things you can do at the convention. You can go there, you can tattoo the whole time, you can make tons of money if you want to. A great way to do this is to focus on small tattoos. Maybe you just print out 50 or 100 on a flash sheet and you take as many as you can. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to find financial success at conventions. Another thing you can do is compete in the competitions. Most of you know, maybe not all, but like the #1 trophy is Best in Show. They give it at the end of the convention. And it's like the best tattoo that was done in the whole show. They have best of day each day, so each day will have best of day, and then the end, the big winner, best of show. They have more categories than that, but most of the artists, they want the recognition on either best of day or best in show. If you're competing, it's a whole different experience. I'll tell you right now, if you're going for best in show, you want to get one client, you want to work on them 3 days in a row, your head's going to be down the whole time, you're not going to have any time to socialize, you're probably going to tattoo them all day at the convention, then bring them back to your hotel, tattoo them some more, bring them back to the convention, then back to the hotel, just to sneak in those extra hours. This is what it takes nowadays to win Best in Show. Me personally, I had no interest in that. It was a lot of work, and there's big risk, because what if you don't win the trophy? Then you risk, the whole weekend. You sacrifice the whole weekend, and you miss out on a bunch of other opportunity. But if you're going for that, if you're trophy chasing, I support that. Get it in, Obviously, if you're trying to, get visa recognition and have those accolades to obtain that, I'm a huge supporter in that as well. It's just not my style. I did the trophy thing when I was younger. I haven't done it in a long time. Let someone else do that. But that is something that is there for the convention. The one that's most attractive to me, branding, awareness, and networking. And to put that in a simple way, it is to make more people known about who you are and the brands you carry, and making deals with sponsorship companies. So that's really what I'm going to be focusing on with you guys at this show, because that's really what I do with conventions now. And the way I do that is I look up all the artists that are going to the convention. I meet them, I introduce myself. This can turn into possible collabs in the future, content collabs, guest spots. Also, it's just great to know the people in your community. It's a great time to go and not only say hi, but get contact information. I'm going after phone numbers, Instagrams, and real contact, you know, because if I'm just saying what's up to someone, they're probably just gonna forget me and I'll never talk to them again. Then I'm looking at the companies that are sponsoring the convention. It's right on the website, it's on your lanyard. Like, I'm finding out what companies are gonna be there, and I'm gonna go up and introduce myself to every company and make them remember my name. This is so important. This is so important, and a lot of people miss out on this. I'm gonna go to each company, I'm gonna meet everyone in the booth, I'm gonna find out what they do for the company, I'm gonna get their cell phones, and I've done this since day one. I know maybe some of you are saying like, you know, well, John, you have a following, it might be easier for you to do this, and I understand that, but it wasn't always like that. I was going up when no one knew who I was, there was no videos, no content, and I was introducing them every time. I wanted them to think, oh, here's this annoying guy, John, coming up to me again, because guess what? They remembered my name. You know, there's so many people out there, they don't remember their name. So this is what we're gonna be focusing on this weekend. I'm gonna bring you guys while I do this. You're gonna watch me go up to these companies and bother them and talk to them. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I do this, get their contact information, and what this is gonna do is turn into deals in the future, which could be a whole nother video talking about sponsorship and like maintaining relationships. But I want you guys to see the power of this at the conventions. All right, so it is setup day. It has, you know, hit the time. We're gonna head over to the convention and get set up. Again, it's Thursday, so it's the day before. So we'll do some setup now. We'll meet the rest of the team. We'll get prepared for the convention to start tomorrow. Here's our Uber. Cool, so we're in here, we're meeting artists, everyone's getting set up. This is a huge convention for Allegory. I think we have all this row here, and we have that row there. We have what? You have 20 artists? 22 artists. That's wild, you know? So we've taken over this whole row. As you can see, everyone's getting their banners and setting up. All these guys in the row are sponsored artists. One thing that I love to do, and I know this comes natural for a lot of people, is to come during setup and to help, you know? Whether it's help the pro team or the company you're with, to help some of the other artists. Maybe they're new artists that have never done this before, never been here before. But it's so important, and it's just respectful to hang around the whole time for setup and help with whatever's needed. So that being said, we're gonna get to helping and start getting set up. All right, so we are getting kicked out of setup, but for the most part, you know, everything is nice and organized. This is our booth right here. You know, we have little accents. I would say we're about 75% of the way there. Get as much done as we can, but even little accents like this tablecloth, little decorations, you know, some organization, anything to personalize your station always makes it look better. But we're gonna check back in tomorrow morning and really go over the setup and what the final product looks like. All right, so we're gonna go check in, get the artist pass, get the pamphlet. Hopefully this has a list of the companies sponsoring the convention. If not, we're just gonna walk around and find them ourselves. But I'm gonna walk you guys like kind of through some approach and like how I'll talk to these companies and you know what to think about when networking with them. For me, it's gonna be big on collaborating on something, whether it's advertising, a product, whatever, just getting your name out there. So let's go get checked in. All right, we didn't find the sponsorship list, but we did find a high point in the convention. So up here we can see everything. So this makes it way easier to spot companies, artists, things like that. So as you can see, we're kind of plotting the course right now. But yeah, you can see the whole convention from here. It's a smaller convention compared to maybe some in the States. We should be able to hit, you know, everything we want to hit. Right now, I'm kind of looking for a company that does aftercare for me specifically, and a supplies company. So I see we have Killer Ink all the way far out there. We have Dermalize right over here. So these are going to be some companies that I'm talking to. Let's get down into it. So just walking around, I can see Quadrants here. I can see Killer Ink is here. I can see Black Gold's here. And usually they'll kind of like put all the companies together. So we're gonna start attacking these rows of just companies. And if I've never met the company before, I'm gonna introduce myself, I'm gonna ask them about their product, and I'm gonna kind of get right to the point. I'm gonna say, do you guys work with artists? And if so, what does that look like? So let's go hit some of these companies. So this is pretty unexpected and wild. In all my years of doing conventions, this has never happened. We just heard an announcement on the stage that they're telling everyone to stop tattooing and leave. Essentially, there's like an issue going on. I think I heard with like the police or the city, I don't know, but everyone thought it was a joke. They just made an announcement on the stage. They told everyone stop tattooing and to go home. I don't know how this is gonna affect
Nobody
me.
stopped tattoo.
Yeah, obviously no one stopped, but it's. I mean, people have these big pieces going on.
I think like my whole thing is like, yo, there's clients that
paid
flew here.
Yeah.
Like, yo, the dude that Nico and Brandon's tattooing, that's
Yeah.
Soda Pop's boy. He just got off the plane this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work out.
You've never experienced something
No,
like this.
dude. I thought they were joking. I thought it was like a marketing thing to get people's attention. But yeah, there's this crew standing behind us. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, you're about to see a lot of angry people here.
What's crazy is they were like hinting at the fact that this may fuck up the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Because he was like, we have to figure out the rest of the weekend, stay informed on our social media.
So the announcement was 100% real, and we all had to leave the convention. So we ended up going back to the Airbnb to finish our appointments. One thing that I love about tattooers is they're resilient, and we will make this work. Thankfully, all the pieces were finished, clients weren't affected, and we had a great time at the Airbnb. So we've come to the end of the first day. Let's do a little recap. So Friday, day one of the convention, typically the shortest day, for a lot of people the most stressful day. This is the first day you're coming in, you're getting set up, you're getting adjusted to your booth and people in the booth, and everything's new. This is why the prep work is so important. You know, the least moving parts, the less variables, the better. It's usually the slowest day as well. You know, this is when we see like the least amount of clients and walk through traffic. So that being said, you know, if I'm tattooing, Friday is a day that I'll schedule, you know, a smaller tattoo or something easy in comparison to the other days. This is a day that is great for going around and meeting artists, you know, and taking advantage of the time of there being less clients. You know, this is a great day to go talk to companies. We looked at a lot of companies today. We talked with all the artists. This is the whole point of the convention. You know, if you're just gonna tattoo, you might as well stay home. We're out, we're about, in a different country with new artists that we typically can't get to, you know, or meet in person. So we spent the whole day walking around, you know, saying hi, introducing ourselves, talking to the companies, even meeting the people that are throwing the event. You know, you want to learn your community, you want to meet these people, especially if you want to come back the next year. You know, we were here last year, we saw a ton of people from the year prior, so that was nice. And because we did that, we went out, we introduced ourselves, you know, now we come back this year, we have friends. It's a lot more comfortable, there's a lot more opportunity to be made. This is what's important to me with conventions. You know, tattooing, of course, great, but the networking, you know? So I think today was very successful. For us, you know, like I said, we met the companies, we met the artists. It's also a time to represent yourself, you know, and talk to people, you know, let them know that you're friendly, you know, you're willing to talk. It's a good representation of the tattoo industry itself with clients. You know, you might be the first introduction to the tattoo world to someone. So it's always good to hit them, very friendly, open, with manners, be inviting, right? So that way they continue to participate. This is something that helps our whole industry, so that's something I always try to keep in mind when meeting new people, is I might be that representation of the industry. And I think this applies to everyone, So great, successful first day. We got the most stressful day over. Tomorrow is Saturday. Saturday is the biggest day of the convention. It's the longest. This is when you schedule your big tattoos. This is when you do your big things. Everyone will be there. It's usually the busiest day. This is a great day to sell merch, a great day to sell prints and other things like that. So we'll check in with you guys in the morning and we'll attack day 2. So it is the start of day 2. Like I told you guys last night, day 2 is the biggest day of the convention. It's typically the busiest day. So this is a great day to sell, merchandise, to take walk-ups if you don't have appointments. We have the biggest influx of clients. It's a great time to meet people from the area. Day 1, we were checking in with the companies, the artists. There weren't as many clients. So Saturdays are about the clients, We're gonna be checking out some booth setups, how people are advertising merchandise, prints, skateboards, whatever other things they've made, crafts. And I also want to give you guys some examples of people taking walk-ups or like walk-ins, clients on the fly, and Sue has some really nice setups for that. So let's get into it and take a look. All right, so we're over here at Killer Inc. I'm with Liam.
Hello.
I was just coming over here talking to him, asking some questions, and I had some questions for you. I've been giving a lot of my feedback as an artist, but I'm very curious to get your perspective, being someone that represents, a company here.
Okay.
Do you think it's important for artists to come up and meet you guys and talk to companies?
Definitely. I feel that's what's missing these days, especially with the rise of social media. A lot of things tend to be distance.
Yeah.
But now, especially now more than ever, it's really important to just have that personal touch. Even now, both of us talking here.
Yeah.
There's more of a connection.
Yeah.
And I feel that with ourselves and artists, just to have that human contact, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, would you say that you guys are more prone to work with an artist that you have a relationship with as opposed to someone you've never met?
That's the case, yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely, a lot of the artists we have with us this weekend, we're all good friends with. We can all have a laugh.
Yeah.
And to me, just that report on its own, it makes so much of a difference.
Yeah. I agree. We're all human, right? That's always going to be a factor.
Yeah.
And then when you guys, obviously you work with artists, you sponsor artists, what do you look for in an artist to have, that level of relationship with?
Okay, so what we look for in an artist, so in this instance, of course, the quality of work, but it's also, have they contacted us before? Do we already have a working relationship?
Yeah.
So it's not just a case of out of the blue, hey, sponsor me. We're looking for people who have already talked to us before. We can have really good conversations with, and they also they're not afraid to give us feedback as well.
Yeah, on the products?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I feel like whether or not it's positive, negative, neutral, just we appreciate honesty.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things.
Right. It's how the products get better, right?
That's it.
And the relationships.
Definitely.
What do you think the most valuable thing about the conventions are?
Valuable thing about conventions, for a lot of artists here, it's a nice catch up. It's a good hangout.
Right.
We get to see friends who we haven't seen in such a long time.
Yeah.
it's been about a year since we last seen each other.
Yeah.
But it's
been too long.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
But honestly, as soon as I saw you a few minutes ago, I was like, hey.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Nice to have a catch up.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyone can do a tattoo at home. What's different? It's getting to see everyone, right?
Definitely.
It's building the relationships.
And it's inspiration as well.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I see all these logos and these names, and now you get to like meet the people behind it, right?
That's it.
Because just like you're saying, it's important to know the person and like what they represent. Like, are they cool or are they not? I think it's both ways with the company and the artist. You know, like obviously people just want to work with people that they respect or admire, and that extends to the companies as well, you know?
Definitely.
So, but yeah, man, I really appreciate your time.
Hey, no,
it's great to see you, and thanks for
you.
answering some of my questions, dude.
No problem, man.
One thing that's always positive to do is figure out what supply companies, you know, are working the show, just in case you need something, you know, anything from a bed cover to gloves to extra needles, you know, so this, you know, obviously they have everything here. Mental note, keep tracks. We'll usually do that day one, figure out where the supplies are. That's going to be your best friend throughout the convention. So right now I'm trying to find some examples that I like of booths prepared to take walk-ups. I think it's always amazing to show your work, like have a portfolio or pictures displayed. I mean, I think these guys are doing a great job. And then also, step even further, having flash available, you know, in an appropriate size, right? It's gonna be a lot easier to, in my opinion, book like a little banger than have these huge panels out. Don't get me wrong, you can do that, but I know, you know, these guys here typically do huge pieces, but they're taking walk-ups today, so they have these, you know, smaller pre-drawn designs, and this is old school. I mean, this is back in the day when we were doing conventions, like you're just showing up and you're tattooing. A lot of people now, they're booking a lot of appointments, which is great, but I like to see some of the older guys bring back this function to the conventions. So I think these two have done a great job of displaying not only their work, but the fact that they're taking in walk-ins. So presentation is definitely everything when it comes to selling merchandise out of the booth. You know, we brought some of our merch here. To be successful in selling merch or getting people to pay attention is saying hi and making the first move. The display is awesome, you know, have stuff folded, nice, let people touch stuff, feel stuff. We just got this, you know, cheap rack over here just for an extra display. We'll put it out, you know, let people touch it, bring it close to them. We'll check out some other people's merch and what they got going on, what they're selling. I mean, that's always the best part of the convention is the handmade art. So let's check it out. So we're at the end of day 2. It was an amazing day. Like I talked about, this is the busiest day. A lot of clients showed up. It was so busy at one point you can't even walk through the booths. Behind me, they're finishing the contest for the day. They're going over best of day. So they'll do this each day. Tomorrow, the last day, they'll do the most prestigious award, which is best in show. Typically, the best in show are pieces, one big piece that they've been working on the whole weekend. I'm gonna go over competitions tomorrow. I'm gonna go over best in show and talk with some artists that are competing. We'll handle that tomorrow, Sunday, the last day. It's kind of a slower day. Everyone's a little tired, more relaxed. But just to recap, Saturday, today, busy day. We pretty much sold out of our merch. We got to talk to tons and tons of people. We got to look at some booths, look at some good setups, displays, go over some tips on, you know, how to make your booth presentable for walk-ins, you know, designing flash, little accents, just to give your booth something extra. Finally, tomorrow, we'll be talking about competitions. See you then. So today is the last day. We are enjoying a little cafe down the street before we get started on the day. Today we're going to be focusing on competitions. This is the day that they announce, you know, best in show, the biggest award typically of the convention, along with other awards. You know, they do best of day each day. They'll have, you know, their different categories, but most people are very curious to see who will win best in show. So that is why we are focusing on conventions and tattooing this day. So day 1 was our networking day. Day 2 was our busy day, interacting with the clients, a little bit more focused on how to get walk-ups, selling merch, how to take advantage of the fact that it is the busiest day. Sunday, we'll be focusing on a little more of the tattooing aspect. So for this convention, I'm really just picking a different topic each day. Typically, I'll structure my conventions a little bit different. I will usually tattoo on Friday, Saturday, and leave my last day for networking. Sunday is also a great day to shop for yourself, get supplies from companies, because a lot of these companies or vendors don't want to travel home with all their stuff, so they're more apt to give you a discount or a deal. I mean, this is when I'll go around shopping, because I know they don't want to bring that shit home with them, so they usually do huge discounts or even sometimes give it for free. Sunday's a great shopping day, but we'll get into the convention, we'll talk a little bit about tattoo setup, and get into the awards. All right, so we are here at the convention. It's a little bit before they're letting the clients in. Just wanted to give you guys kind of a look on my setup. So I have this bed cover. I have my, stuff for my stencil, iPad obviously, and then a setup here. It's a very basic setup. Nothing is open, but we have everything we need: caps, razor, tongue depressor. I have my ink here. 2 needles that I'm going to use, my stencil application, my lubricant for the tattoo, and my paper towels. So it's a pretty simple setup. I like to keep it that way, simple while I'm tattooing, but also hygienic. We have our covers and stuff like that, and our bin here, sharps containers were provided. So I'll be tattooing today, working on a little castle piece inspired by Duomo in Italy. And then we're also going to be checking in with some people that are going to be competing. I'll show you guys some contests that are going on. We'll take a look at the judges, the events, and the trophies. And today will be a great day. Everyone is typically in a good mood, a little bit more relaxed today because it's the end of the convention.
We are here at the Milano Tattoo Convention. I'm here with Luke, and I really wanted to ask, what is your opinion? You're from here?
No, I'm from Malta.
Okay.
I'm together with my brother because we're both artists.
Perfect.
And I think the best way to show what you really know and what you really learned through all these years of experience is to go to conventions and to compete with very great artists. So we will know your level, and you will keep learning from these great artists.
So you're here at the convention, and you think that competitions are important to any artist to really figure out where I'm at?
I mean, it's not just if you just start, but everything you do in life is an experience.
Yeah.
And what you gain through these experiences will be seen in the future for sure.
Absolutely, dude. Well, thank you so much, man. Luke, I really appreciate your time. I'm here with Manuel Rogaszewski. I said that right?
Yes.
Perfect. We're at the Milano Tattoo Convention, and we've been going around asking people, first off, what do you think about competitions? What's your take on competitions at conventions?
I try to compete.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. It's not competing for me.
Yeah.
It's just the people should see it.
Yeah.
What you've done. If you get a prize, it's cool. It's really cool. But I want to see, the people should see my work.
Yeah.
Because such a things you remember when you see it.
Yeah.
And if it's a few seconds, you remember it.
Yeah.
And that's my, how should I say it? I want this.
Yeah.
Well,
that's cool. So it's because a bunch of people have so many different perspectives on it. So for you, it's more like, I just want to put my work on display because I worked really hard on all this and I want you to see it.
You know, yes. And I want, conventions are for me, I want to connect with people.
Yeah.
You know, I want to meet people, meet other tattooers. Maybe you can see something, it's easier. Why I don't do that like this, you know? It's just connecting.
That's awesome.
And the competing is only, for me, it's just to see.
That's awesome, dude. So you've been working on a bodysuit all weekend, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. And you're gonna enter it in a competition.
Yes, the best of large. We tried today.
So what do you think for some new tattooers or just tattooers that have never entered in a competition, what do you think it takes to win the competition?
Maybe a big name in a few conventions. You need the name.
Yeah.
That you win. It is.
Yeah. And go ahead.
They should try.
Yeah.
Should try.
Either way. Because and that's been a thing, and it's cool because we like to be honest. Yeah. And I think a big thing that's happened that we've discovered going to different shows is it kind of is about your name sometimes.
Sometimes it is, yes.
Yeah. And a little bit less about the work. But this bodysuit that you have been working on for a while now is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
You guys you did the palm this weekend?
Yes.
And now you guys are gonna finish on the inside legs and you're gonna finish right on the sternum?
Yes.
Awesome, dude. Well, I look forward to seeing it. And where's your home studio? Where are you tattooing out of?
Gleistow, Austria.
In Gleistow, Austria.
So we're at the end of day 3. It was an amazing day. There was a lot of tired people, but tired people are fine with me. I got to do a nice little banger tattoo, which was amazing. As you can see behind me, the judging is just finishing up. They're getting to the contestants of the best in day. We got you guys, a bunch of information on what it takes to compete, what to get in best of day, how to win. We just have a few moments left before we see the winner and wrap up the day. So there's about an hour, maybe 2 hours left in the convention. Everyone is closing up behind us. They're finishing up the competition. This is the time that I'm gonna walk around, see if there's anything I like, anything for purchase. This is a great time to see artists that were working all weekend, because by now they're done. You can congratulate them on being done. You can feel the relief. And like I said earlier, if you're looking to purchase stuff from people or companies, a lot of times they're either discounted or just giving it away. So that's a little tip. As I said before, great time to get stuff. See you guys back in the States.